Hello and welcome to my conversation talking about coping with COVID. And today I'm talking to two businesses from the town. I'd like to welcome Mike Doyle from Cookies and Adam and Nick Mode from Adam's Apple. So we're going to start by talking about the direction of the business before the lockdown happened. So Mike, would you like to give us the overview for Cookies at that time?
Yeah, hi, morning. Well, I purchased Cookies, the business, around about 4.5 years ago. Cookies has been in the town for many years, but myself and my business partner bought the business about 4.5 years ago. So we're actually we were in a sort of plan, a 5-year plan, which, we've got to repay the business loans, etc. back. So we were just sort of ticking along, really. Because we were limited on sort of the amount of staff that we could employ and so forth. So it was a very tight ship. We had a good customer base already. We built on the wholesale. So we were generally just, ticking along, really. We could do a bit better, obviously, but it was that time that we needed to sort of get out there and perhaps get a bit more wholesale customer. But yeah, we were doing that okay, shall we say.
Yeah, so it was a comfortable, happy place. What about Nick and Adam?
Pretty much the same, really. We were ticking along nicely. We've been trading for, 17 years we've actually been going for. We've just taken on, in the last 2 or 3 years, we've taken on this new unit. So obviously bills have increased quite considerably. So, so we've been pushing the wholesale side of things, which is the main direction the business has always sort of been set up for, which was wholesale. But obviously, since we've come to this bigger unit, we've had a chance to expand our retail side with the bigger shop, etc. And pre-COVID, all of our basically 90% of our business was wholesale, so delivering to the likes of pubs, restaurants, schools, etc. And then obviously we'd be picking up a bit of footfall from the people who knew about us, which we didn't. We should have pushed more on the retail side, which we've always tried to. But obviously, like Mike said, you've only got a limited number of staff, and you've only got a certain resource to sort of be able to push for absolutely everything. Plus we've got vans on the road which we need to keep on the road, etc. So obviously pre-COVID we were 90% wholesale and 10% retail, and we were doing okay, earning a bit of money, and it was going all right.
Good. So two fairly prosperous businesses moving in a direction that felt comfortable until the totally unexpected impact of the lockdown on the 23rd of March. So if we stay with Nick and Adam, what exactly did you do on that day, and how did you have to start thinking differently?
Kind of the wholesale trade just died a death overnight, really. All of the pubs and that shutting, just sort of stopped all the vans going out and everything overnight. Schools sporadic orders, because obviously the kids were no longer attending schools, so they died a death as well, really. We kind of hatched a plan to try and keep our heads above water, really, weren't it? To focus on the retail side of things, which drastically improved. And massive spike on the retail. We had obviously people coming down the shop. At first we were like, we didn't really know what to do, because obviously it was all new. There was 2 metre social distancing, and we were getting literally hundreds of people coming down the shop, queuing out the car park all down the road, and we were like shocked but like really happy. But then obviously there's trying to keep things organised so that obviously people weren't risking themselves and the staff whilst coming in. And obviously the other side of the retail, which was home deliveries, which
we were used to doing, because we've always done home deliveries, but they've always just sort of kind of been in the background. We've never sort of tried to push them, which we should have done really. But we'd be doing probably 20, 30 home deliveries a week to people's houses, and they were like regular customers who we've been doing for sort of 5-10 years. And then literally overnight, we were getting 300, 400 orders a day to get to action for home delivery. So we were literally, well, we didn't have the infrastructure to begin with to organise it and get everything sorted ASAP. So we had to, well, it took a lot of sort of juggling, long 24 hours, long hours. We were here for like 16 hours a day, like trying to like literally just fight fire with fire, really. But yeah.
It's all very positive, though. I mean, it just shows how nimble you were and how you recognised where the change was coming from, and you managed to keep the 2-metre distancing, which is the safety aspect. So I think that's greatly to your credit that you managed to get so organised so quickly.
Yeah, well, the bonus thing we had was obviously because the wholesale had gone, we utilised the staff, the drivers, and that for. Because we turned the business around on home deliveries to like a box scheme to make it easier, rather than people ordering 30 individual items and certain weights of apples, etc.
Yeah.
We turned it to the box scheme to just sort of, so we could get boxes, pre-made in the morning, and then obviously by a couple of the van drivers, and then the remaining van drivers literally getting them on board, stacking the vans up to the top, and literally going out, dropping them on doorsteps, and etc. So yeah, that's how we kind of turned it round and sort of like improved sort of the whole infrastructure, just like literally taking everything off wholesale and pushing it all on retail, really. So.
Yeah, because everybody's life had changed along with it, hadn't it? So now they had to think like an individual customer and not like an organisation. That's good, isn't it? Mike, how about you? What impact did it have on cookies?
Massive impact. And as I say, we were running a tight ship. I mean, I had a member of staff that was on long-term sick. So I'm sort of paying him his wage. So I couldn't afford to take somebody else on. So myself and Ian were doing a fair few hours anyway. But when that happened, like Nick and Adam, I was just, where do we go from here? What's got to open the doors because I've got to keep the business going. I employ X amount of members of staff. I've got to think about them as well. The government were a little bit slow coming through. The information wasn't really getting there. You just think, what do you do? So you open the door, and fortunately, I've got a good set of staff, and without them, some of the things probably wouldn't have happened. To be fair, especially on the COVID side, they really up with it, and they sort of took control of that. To be fair, myself and Ian, as Nick and Adam, we were doing 16, 18 hours a day, because what happened with us was our wholesale, like Nick and Adam, just stopped basically overnight. We lost over half of our wholesale customers, which is a backbone really. We've got retail, we've got 2 shops, and they tick by, but the wholesale really sort of holds everything together. And that went, but fortunately, Nick and Adam, I mean, the amount of stuff they take from us now is just, incredible. And same with the rest of them. We were at a point where myself and Ian, the only actual producers in the business. We've got another guy that sort of does a bit of finishing and helping out and whatnot. But myself and Ian are the only producers as such. And there's no more we could do. We were actually at our limit. We were pushing it out there, and it's gone, Mike. What do we do? Well, I can't. I had to start shutting the shop earlier so as I could start on the next day's production. As I say, members of staff, another one who's sort of a bit more savvy on the social media side, is something that we never did before. It was there, but we never really played with it. But one particular member started saying, well, let's let people know we're open, because the shop had shop had really slowed down, as it would do, because everybody just disappeared, scattered. The streets were empty. So we started doing a bit of social media work, and blimey, that really snowballed. Bless her, she was she was actually doing it, on a day off at night time, Sunday, because people with social media, it don't stop, does it? There's not we close at 9. It's finished. It's just constant. And
so, were you sending out messages about when you were open, or messages about what was available?
Yeah, all sorts of stuff. We were saying that we're still open here at Cookies, and then we started playing around with a few donuts and so forth, and putting up pictures. The pictures seem to get people's attention. You could put a text up, and you didn't get many likes or whatever, but you put a picture up, and you got likes, and then so they liked. And we've got people now coming from Wellingborough and all over the place. Kettering that we didn't have before.
Oh, good.
So it's the new people that started rolling through the shop that we'd never seen before. People were sort of saying, "Oh, didn't realise you were here," but have lived in the town for God knows how long. It's amazing. Yeah.
So can I ask, have we changed our eating habits? Are we eating more donuts than we were before?
Well, we were, and we still are a little bit. But those first few weeks, blimey, people were comfort eating, I think.
Comfort eating.
It got to a stage sometimes they'd come in for, say, a bread roll or whatever, but we were struggling to keep up with it. And they were just, "Oh, okay, I'll have a donut then." But they came in for rolls,
Yeah. So what does comfort eating look like in the fruit and veg business? Were you selling more of a certain product?
Well, we do quite a good range of stuff here anyway. So we do like the fresh bread and the rolls and that. And obviously we obviously know Mike very well anyway, because they supply us a great deal of stuff, and it's continued, because it's always been a bit slow, the fresh bread, because you don't want to take too much on, because it is fresh bread and it needs to go that day. Yes. So you don't want too much of that on. But since obviously all this has kicked off, the fresh bread, etc., we sell out daily still. But we also do cakes, everything here, crisps, jams, preserves, everything, dried fruit. So there's no sort of real patterns. People come in, some people just come in, just have cakes and biscuits and stuff like that. And then you've got the people who come in sort of every day for their everyday shop or their weekly shop. And but like Mike said, there's people from all over the place coming in now, and even the locals who have said we didn't know you've been here, and we've obviously been trying. Our problem again is with the social media. We've never really pushed it up until the last couple of years, and we try to do minimum of one post a week, which is still not really good enough for social media. But it gets a good reaction every time we put something up, and you are responding through the night, trying to sort of tell people prices and if we've still got stock and blah blah blah. But we do a bit of everything. So people were just emptying the shelves. Really, we're struggling to keep stuff on the shelf.
Yeah. So besides eating donuts, then were we into baking, Mike? Was there more baking going on?
Well, that again, we were sort of the port call for everybody, because the supermarkets were, limiting everybody, and then the flour sort of ran out. So people started coming to me. I've always sold flour, but the demand for flour was just amazing. So I actually started bagging up, bags of flour from our own bags, because we used to sell the little pre-packed stuff, but I was selling masses of it. The time that takes just to bag flour up, it was just amazing. And we had no trouble getting flour, but obviously the supermarkets and everybody else were just struggling to get the little pre-packed. So the amount of flour.
It's amazing how word went round the town that you've got flour, or we could get certain fruit and vegetables, because we were all cooking and baking. It was really good, and I guess that was social media That's how we knew. So, you know, it's interesting that that was a route you recognised as being a need in the changing environment. So what about going forward? Mike? What's the plan there?
The long-term plan now is to obviously look for another baker. But really keep on the social media side if I can. You know, it's something that I'm not very good at, and fortunately, the girl's back because of all this, so she's taken control of that. But she's got to go back to university, so I'm going to have to try and learn a little bit more about social media, because it's proved to me how important it is. Really, you know,
yeah, good.
I didn't think a little bakery shop would need social media, but it is. It's a real key to the business. So going forward, as the wholesale customers start trickling back, we should obviously work with those, but we need to start, using social media a little bit more for the retail side.
For the retail side.
The retail shops, they're here. We've got to start using that to let people know what we're doing.
No, good. And what about Adam and Nick?
Well, about the same as Mike, really. I think just keep pushing on the social media, often putting out offers on what we're doing in the shop and keeping people interested, really, using our shop.
Just retaining some of the customers that have used us over the last 3 months or so. We want to try and retain them. And obviously, we don't want them to just come and then go back to their usual routine. Everybody's kind of got used to going back to independence again. They've been using the local butcher, they've been using the local baker, they've been using the greengrocer. And obviously, I think it's kind of educated a few more people that maybe if you take your time with your shopping a bit more and go to the specialists, then obviously, supermarkets are great if you're in a rush. I'm not knocking any supermarkets because I use them myself, but I'm just saying for people not to forget about us. And obviously, we're still there. We're offering competitive prices. We've got great staff. We've got loads of parking. So we just want people to keep coming in, keep using us, and keep pushing on. And then obviously the future, obviously with the wholesale side of things, we want to obviously try and get a load of sort of local or pubs and cafes and what have you in the area to start using us again. And obviously we're still offering a delivery service and we have them throughout the whole time. So we just hopefully the future will continue to look positive. We'll see. We don't know.
I think though you've demonstrated, haven't you, that the future's in your hands. Your creativity and your response to things is what keeps it vital, and you've been very successful at doing that, both of you. It's Mike, do you want a last sort of anything to say?
Just really, as Nick and Adam saying, it's about keeping the customers. We're not going to keep them all because it's the way of life, isn't it? It's so easy to go to the supermarket, it's all there. But for us as a business, everything's made fresh here every day. There's no preservatives. There's nothing like that. I mean, that's why you've got to eat the bread basically the day you buy it because it's fresh. It's made every single night, and it's local. Most of our ingredients are local, and it's made here in Raunds basically. And it's made for you practically. So hopefully, even if I kept half the new customers, I'd be very, very happy. It's great to see these new customers, but also I've got to thank all the customers that have been using us for years that are still users. It's been really good actually. Yeah.
Well, I think they're two great stories, and I think two great businesses for Raunds, and we're very proud. We're very proud of you. So thank you very much.
It's been hard work.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers.
Thanks a lot. See you later, guys.
Yeah, see you later. Cheers, Mike.
We have every reason to be proud of all our businesses in Raunds. Mike Doyle from Cookies, Adam and Nick Mode from Adam's Apple demonstrated a positive and rapid response to the greatest disaster this generation has experienced. Their strategic thinking was always focused on the proposition they could offer to the customer. With an ever-changing customer profile, their teams were flexible and responsive, resulting in a reformed service which delivered much-needed provision to the people of Raunds and beyond. Plus, they were prepared to put in however many hours they needed to get the job done. My guest today demonstrated innovation, focus, energy, and great teamwork, the vital essentials of a successful business. Thank you.